The new Mexico Outlaws are an incredible team led by Gavin McKenna, Brady Tkachuk, Seth Jarvis, and Roger McQueen. On top of those core pieces, we also have a ton of other fantastic players. We have Hoglander, Akiliev, and then a great bottom six here led by some old and young players. Defensively, we have a bunch of fantastic pieces here, but Brant Clark and Kivi Haru, they're going to be leading the way. While in between the pipes, we have the same tandem running it back again this season, and Devin Levi, he's going to be the guy leading the way for us at an 89 overall with 5 X factors. During last offseason, we did pick up a couple guys, one of them being Vladimir Tarasenko, but he actually doesn't fit on any of the bottom 6 lines here, and he doesn't really have a great fit on any of the lines, so we're actually going to have him as a healthy scratch. I mean, we technically could throw him on the top 6 here, but the guys we have are actually better than him. So there's no point wasting any time here. We already know what this dominant team's looking like. Let's go try to get ourselves back into the postseason and win a Stanley Cup. Also, I've been offered this trade about 700,000 times. No, I'm not accepting it. I'm keeping our medium elite potential prospect. I have a feeling that guy's going to develop into something special. Before we go on to have an 82-0 season though, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I'm still trying to pass the Detroit Red Wings in YouTube subs. And on top of that, let's see if we can get 1,000 likes on this video. The new Mexico Outlaws are officially here to compete with the best in the entire league. We're going to be finishing 3rd here, 50, 25, and 7. We had a great offense as well as one of the best defenses in the league. It actually might have been the best. It was 2.63 goals allowed per game. Nah, this team's ready to hoist the Stanley Cup. And in order for us to get to this point, we need big time players making big time plays, and that's exactly what Seth Jarvis is doing as he's leading the team with 88 points. But we can't forget about McKenna here. He's got 83, and Kiliev, a fantastic season from him, he's got 81. On top of those guys looking absolutely fantastic on the offensive end, we got to check out the goaltending numbers here as Devin Levi's got 40 wins with 5 shouts and 921 to 242. Those are Stanley Cup numbers if I've ever seen them. So last season we ended up losing to the Stanley Cup champions in the first round here, but that's not going to happen this time around. We got the Winnipeg Jets in the first round. Let's make this a quick sweep here and then advance to the second round for the first time in franchise history. So I'm not jumping into this game here, but I just want to point out this incredible comeback we just had. We were trailing 4-0 late in the second period, but we're making the massive comeback, including 4 third period goals to take this one. I think this is going to be a series defining moment. So right now, the Winnipeg Jets have been putting up a bigger fight than I was expecting. We're currently down 3-2 in the series. We're also down 2-1 in game 6 here. Burakovsky, of course, he's picked up the lone goal for us. I'm jumping into this one, and I'm probably going to pick up 2 more goals with Burakovsky because as we know, big time players make big time plays. Also, it really sucks we have to wear these crappy jerseys again. I really want to wear these ones, but I mean, we're the away team. We got to wear the away jerseys. Ruzicka's getting sprung for a breakaway here on the penalty kill. Can he tuck this one in? That was a really greasy goal, but you know what? We'll take it. We're tying the game up here with the shorthanded goal. That's some great defense from the team right there. Bruh, that is the worst goal I have ever seen in my life. Why does my goaltender not get up? And unfortunately in the final seconds here, that Nito Niederreiter goal is going to be the difference maker, and we're losing this one. Ain't no way we lost because our goaltender refused to get up and sat behind the net. It was a 3-on-5. I was prepared for the shot coming from the slot. That's why I went for the dive there. But ain't no way that's the reason we're losing this one. So on this final goal, I'm focused strictly on Alex Tuch because, I mean, this would be a wide open net for him. I'm controlling Clark, so I'm going to go for the block here. It was kind of a weird animation, but you know what? Hey, nothing you can do about it. But hey, Kyle Connor's going to make a nice play. He's going to pass it out to Nito Niederreiter. But here's the stupid thing. Watch this save animation from Devin Levi. Bro, what is this? At least attempt to slide the right direction because you're not making the save like that. But that's going to be the series clinching goal. It's a tough one to process. So clearly, one thing we learned from that Winnipeg Jets series, we need to be better all around. And I think one way we can be better is picking up another superstar defenseman. So I think that's what we're going to be doing over the offseason. Also, I do find this very ironic. Who's going to be the best performing player in the postseason for us? Of course, it's the man, the myth, the legend, Andre Burakovsky. 4 goals, 2 helpers, 6 points. We should have saw this coming. And Devin Levi, I don't necessarily want to throw you under the bus, but you also have to be much better than this. A 903 and a 366. What happened to the numbers you put up during the regular season? Because this certainly isn't it. So if we're going to be trading for a defenseman in the offseason, we better get some assets, and a medium elite potential center, that's definitely going to help the cause. On top of picking up that medium elite potential prospect, we're also going to be securing a low elite potential one. So I'm going to be completely honest, I thought I was dreaming when I saw this contract. Hoglander, you're 28 years old. Why would you accept a deal this cheap. We're going to do 3.3 for the next 5 years. That's less than what we're paying you right now. Hey, a win is a win. We're going to take it. Ryan Lindgren, on the other hand, I'm not doing this deal. $7 million and you're 31 years old? Not going to happen. Also, we're going to have to wait on Brandt Clark because Mans wants $13 million per year, and if we do an 8-year deal, he wants 20. So we're going to wait till the beginning of the season to re-sign him. So I think this is going to be our first move right here, and it's actually not for a defenseman. It's going to be for a right winger, an 85 overall right winger to be exact. He's a decent player, low league potential. He's still pretty young, and we're not going to have to pay him too much money, so I think we're going to do this right here. We'll complete that deal after we turn the 4th rounder into a 3rd, and of course, the lucrative 7th round pick. That's always the difference maker. Also, I've accepted the fact Christian Kyrou is not going to develop into the player I thought he would, so we're sending him over to the Buffalo Sabres for a 3rd and 6th rounder. Like, bro was in the AHL last season. He wasn't even playing for us. Now, I knew it was only a matter of time before this day came, but it's coming a lot sooner than I expected. Andre Burakovsky, you no longer have a spot on this team after we picked up that player from San Jose, so unfortunately, I'm sending you to the Minnesota Wild for a 3rd round pick. You will be missed. I am happy to say Brandt Clark is being a lot more reasonable with the extension now. We're doing $12.1 million for the next 6 seasons. It's better than $20 million, that's for sure. So looking at this team right here, you might be thinking, stick on the ice, you were making a big deal about how the defense wasn't good enough in the postseason. Why didn't you add any defensemen? Now that's a fair comment to make, but we do have to realize one thing. During the regular season, we were the best defensive team in the entire league, only allowing like 2.7 goals per game. The next closest was like 2.9 or something. If we're the best defensive team in the league, why would I switch things up? So we're just going to rock the same core once again. And Devin Levi, I actually think you improved over the offseason. You're up to a 90 overall. You have 5 X factors, exact elite potential now. You've officially reached your peak, and now it's time for you to play the best hockey of your life and allow this team to secure their first Stanley Cup in franchise history. So right now, the New Mexico Outlaws are one of the best teams in the entire NHL, but I think we can be a bit better. And in order to get better, Broberg, a 1st round pick and a 3rd rounder, are off to the New Jersey Devils, and we're acquiring Luke Hughes. Well, the plan was to acquire Luke Hughes. But don't worry, because we do have a 3rd round pick, and this came in the Burakovsky deal. Once again, Burakovsky's going to be saving the day here, because without this 3rd rounder, we're probably not getting this deal done. In hindsight, I probably could have just traded a lucrative 7th round pick, but you know what? We got Luke Hughes, and that's exactly what we needed. Now, normally I'd be okay with finishing 4th, but the Chicago Blackhawks finished ahead of us in our division, and so did the Colorado Avalanche. So that means in the 1st round, we got to take on Chicago, and if we get past Chicago, then we have to take on the Colorado Avalanche. Meanwhile, I think we can officially say Hoglander is on the greatest deal of all time. 83 points in 82 games here. We just gave him a 3-year extension or 4-year extension. I don't even remember. All I know is this man's getting paid less than $4 million next season. Also, Roger McQueen, keep doing your thing. You were fantastic this season. And to cap this season off, Devin Levi's looking pretty solid. 41 wins, 5 shots, a 905 and a 282. We weren't as good defensively this season, but you know what? That's perfectly fine because we're scoring more goals. But the regular season means absolutely nothing now. We're in the postseason here, and we're taking on the Chicago Blackhawks in the 1st round. This is going to be a tough matchup for us. Definitely our most difficult opponent so far. So if we want to have a chance of getting out of the 1st round here, we got to take an early lead in the series. We're in game number 1 here. The game's tied 3-3. I feel like this is the game that I jump into. Ain't no way Robbie Fabry is scoring that goal right there. I'm sorry, but Devin Levi, you gotta make a save for me. Like, you actually have to be kidding me here. I was playing the pass because I was concerned about Bedard, I was concerned about Verana. I didn't think Robbie Fabry had a good enough angle to get this past the goaltender. Levi, you gotta make this save, man. How is this getting past your arm? Like, come on, man. You might be costing us this series with that goal right there. So I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think it's possible for me to be more disappointed than I am right now. If we win game number 1, we would have won this series. But Devin Levi had to allow that weak goal, and that's going to cost us the series. Ain't no way that just happened. So it's time for Stick on the Ice to make a statement. These have never backfired on him whatsoever, but I'm going to make a statement right here. We're winning the Stanley Cup next season. The entire core is coming back except for Philip Hedl. We're going to have Luke Hughes for the entire year. The young pieces are going to continue to develop. We're going to be even better next season, and we're going to be hoisting that Stanley Cup. I really can't ask for any more from this team. Like Roger McQueen, 12 points. Kilyev, he's picking up 10. Hoglander, 8. Look at the plus minus here. everyone played fairly good. Our bottom 6 might not have been the best, but hey, we performed when we needed to. I can't complain with what happened. Now, Devin Levi, these numbers right here aren't even that bad, but you allowed 1 weak goal, and that ended up being the difference maker for us. Now, similar to our last draft, we're going to be starting off with a fantastic prospect. We're bringing in a medium elite potential center, and we're not done there because we're also going to be bringing in another medium elite potential forward. This one's going to be a sniper though, and we're going to continue to pick up some more elite prospects in this draft, but this one's going to be a low elite potential defenseman. During the re-sign phase, there wasn't any deals that we had to make, but we got to give out some extensions here. And Luke Hughes, I'll give you $6.1 million for the next 5 seasons. Meanwhile, this other defenseman whose name I'm yet to learn, I'll be giving you 2 years at $2.4 million. He's been on our team for a handful of years now. The least I could do is learn his name. Now, this next signing right here is going to be a high risk, high reward move. Qdobin, I'm going to give you 7 years at $2.8 million. You're already a 76 overall at 21 years old. I'm going to put you on the third line. I'm going to give you a ton of opportunities to develop with this team, and I think that contract will age very well for us. Now, we're not going to be making too many moves during the offseason, but I would like to pick up this defenseman from the Edmonton Oilers. It's not going to cost us too much. Well, it's actually going to cost us a bit more than what I was expecting. We already know what the difference maker is going to be here. The lucrative 7th round pick. It's always saving the day for us. That's the difference maker in this deal. Apparently, that completely changes the deal for Edmonton. And then right after acquiring him from the Edmonton Oilers, we'll do 4 years at $2.7 million. Okay, what happened here? Why is it showing a New York Islanders logo? We didn't even get him from the New York Islanders. We got him from the Edmonton Oilers. Now, we still hold his rights. 2.7 for the next 4 years. That might be the exact same contract I just offered him. I don't recall. And now he's on our team. Alright then. Okay, I'm going to be completely honest. If we do not win a Stanley Cup this season, then this game is completely broken. We're going to put Roger McQueen on the first line over Gavin McKenna, because apparently even though Gavin McKenna has a perfect line fit here, if we swap the two, we actually get a +5 overall boost and then a +4 overall boost. Couldn't explain how that works, but you know what? We're going to rock with it. Also, Sharov, he's up to an 87 overall playing third line minutes. This man's development's been insane for us. We're also only paying him 5.9 for the next 7 years, so that's going to work out well for us. Also, Qdobin, he fits on the third line. That's where we're going to be playing him. This team's elite. So we're going to be rocking Kivi Hardy with Brant Clark, Luke Hughes with Gallalina, and then Mikey Anderson with this guy right here. Still haven't learned his name. I probably should before the end of this video. And to top it all off, we actually have the best goaltending tandem we've ever had. Devin Levi's here, 87 overall. He's still our guy. But we also have Caden McMillan. This is the guy we drafted a handful of years ago, 34th overall. His development's been insane so far. He's already up to an 85. You never know. He might be our starting goaltender sooner than later. He might be 2 overalls below Devin Levi, but he's also 5 years younger. Okay, so I think we have to make a difficult decision here. And I think we're going to trade Kivi Haru, because I completely forgot about Marcel Guerin here, 20 years old, already an 83 overall. He has low elite potential. More than likely, he's going to finish with elite potential, especially if he's an 83 overall at 20 years old. Because when we check out a guy like Kivi Haru, he's an 83 overall at 24 years old. He's 4 years older, but Guerin can do the exact same thing as him. Also, Guerin's a lot cheaper. So Kivi Haru, I think we're going to be trading you. So Kivi Haru, you're not going to be the guy for us anymore. So I'm going to ship you over to the New York Islanders for 2 third-round picks. Through making this trade right here, we're also going to be clearing up $6.2 million for the next couple years. I can guarantee you, now that we've made that deal, Kivi Haru is going to develop into like an 88 overall defenseman. I'm calling it right now. That trade's going to backfire on us. So it should be no surprise the New Mexico Outlaws continue to be one of the best teams in the entire league, 48, 27, and 7. And we would have had a better record if we didn't suck after the trade deadline. Like, this team was abysmal. I think we probably won like 6 games after the trade deadline. Things weren't going good for us, but we have a really solid offense. The defense is amazing for this team, and we already know who's on this team, so they should be winning a Stanley Cup. Now, I definitely can't complain about these numbers right here. Hoglander, 77 points, but he picked up 41 goals. We're paying him $3.3 million. I just want to emphasize that. Brady Tkachuk, 46 goals, 76 points. McKenna's picking up 73. McQueen's got 69 points. Goaltending wise, I can't really complain about what Devin Levi did here. 38 wins, 6 shouts, a 901 to 298. Never mind, I will complain about these numbers right here. I need these to be better if we're winning a Stanley Cup. And of course, why would things ever be easy for the New Mexico Outlaws? We have the Arizona Coyotes in the first round. They were one of the top teams in the entire league. They were either 5th or 6th. For some reason, we keep having to take on the top teams in the entire league. But you know what? If you want to win a Stanley Cup, you gotta be able to beat the best. At this point, I don't even know what's wrong with the New Mexico Outlaws. We're down 3-0 in the game and we're down 2-0 in the series. If I'm going to score 3 goals here, I'm going to need a lot of time to do it. So I'm jumping into this one right at the beginning of the third period. So you know what? I'm going to change things up here. Both teams are wearing their home jerseys. Actually, Arizona, you're going to wear your away jersey. We never get to wear the home jerseys. So far, I don't think we've won a game wearing the away jerseys. So we got to switch things up. Also, not going to lie, these jerseys are a bit atrocious now that I see them on the ice. But you know what? We're not going to worry about it. Also, I just thought I mentioned this because I realized it after taking like 2 shots. The goaltender in the net for the Arizona Coyotes, our backup from last season. And the one thing that helps us, we already know how our backup plays, and Killia is going to get started here with a nice backhanded goal. And we're going to continue to put on the pressure here, but you know what? Let's drop it back to our defenseman and let him cook. He's going to weave in between Arizona's defense before going to his backhand as well, and we've just picked up 2 straight goals. But we're not done there because Luke Hughes, it's time for you to turn on the Jets from our defensive zone all the way to the offensive. You're flying right now, and you're going to tie this game up with a massive goal. So here we go. We completed the 3-goal comeback. We're in overtime. Next goal wins. We got to lock in and pick up this last goal. There we go. Roger McQueen, a breakaway. Can he end this? Yes, he can. The 4-goal comeback is complete with 4.3 seconds left in overtime here. We're going to be ending this one. We're making it a 2-1 series. Now we just got to pray the CPU can fight back and finish this off for us. And I will say, we're 1-0 when we wear our home jerseys. Just going to point that out. Okay, the one thing I do want to point out here, because we're losing in the first round, who would have saw that one coming? In the games I didn't play, our team scored 8 goals. And the lone goal I played, I scored 4. That means in the first round, we scored 12 goals, and I scored 33% of them in one game. I'm sorry, but you cannot convince me the thing that let us down in the postseason was our scoring. Out of all the things on this team, scoring let us down. I mean, don't get me wrong, we were not great defensively by any means. Even Devin Levi, these numbers, you're not winning a Stanley Cup with those. But I mean, come on. Offense is letting us down? That's a joke. So eventually this team's got to get it together. We're too good of a team to be falling in the first round every single season. We've been a top 5 team for the past 3 years now, maybe even 4. Eventually we got to get it together and get out of the first round. Hopefully that's next season. I set expectations of us winning a Stanley Cup for this season, only for us to lose in the first round. I don't know what to say anymore. So like usual, we're going to be picking up some decent players in the draft, and in the second round we're going to be securing a low elite potential defenseman. So this guy right here is not going to be the last fantastic prospect we draft. We're getting a medium elite potential goaltender, but wait till you see our next 2 selections. In the 5th round, we're going to be securing a low elite potential grinder. He's probably going to be a good trade asset for us because I can't see him joining the team at any point. And then in the 6th round, we're going to be getting another low elite potential player, but this one's going to be a sniper. Now, I'm not necessarily against bringing back a guy like Mikey Anderson, but I'm not going to commit $7 million to him at 32 years old. That's just not smart cap management right there. And even Kyler Yamamoto, for what he provides for this team, I don't really want to do $3 million for 2 years. We can definitely get a replacement for less money. So I'm not going to lie, when it came to the extensions that we had to give out here, I was a bit concerned, but Seth Jarvis, 5.5 for the next 6 seasons, I have no issue with that deal right there. Another guy I don't have an issue paying, that's going to be Kiliev here, 6.2 for the next 5 seasons. That's another fantastic contract for this team. So I see the potential in a guy like Holstrom here. He's a 77 overall at 21 years old with low elite potential. To be a 77 overall at 21 years old, you're going to develop into something great. So here's 8 years at 1.25 million. Also, we do have a bit of extra money here, so Max Domi, welcome back to the New Mexico Outlaws. Never mind, you never played for our team. I got the other rebuild I was doing mixed up with this one. Max Domi's never played for this team. Also, to finish off our deals here, I'm doing Jacob Bryson to a 2-year deal at 1.9 million. The difference between paying a 79 overall and an 81 is absolutely ridiculous. Jacob Bryson, 1.8 million. If we want to get an 81 overall, we're looking at the $4 million range. How does that work? So the team's going to be looking basically the exact same as last year with the addition of Holstrom here. He's going to be playing on the 4th line. We'll see if he'll be able to develop into something. Honestly, we have a fantastic forward court here, and I don't really want to mess that up. Defensively, we already know what we can do. We're one of the best in the entire game. Although our third pairing is a bit weak here, they're a lockdown defensive pairs. So they're going to be able to keep the puck out of the net. And to finish it all off, we have a battle of the goaltenders this season. We have Caden McMillan and Devin Levi, both at 85 overalls. They're going to be battling for the number 1 spot here. And I'm going to be completely honest, Caden McMillan's definitely the future goaltender for this team. He's 5 years younger than Devin Levi, and they're the same overall. So it's only a matter of time before he becomes our true number 1, and Devin Levi's getting shipped out. Okay, so we're about 20 games in, and you have to remember who's on this team. So explain to me how we're the worst offensive team in the entire league. Okay, we're not the worst, but we're like right down here. We're 29th in the league right now, 8, 12, and 1. We can't score. This team cannot score to save their lives. I don't know why. Defensively, we're also not that good. good. So I really don't know what happened to this team because, I mean, we only lost 2 guys over the offseason. I don't know what changed. So I just want to mention I didn't make a single move after that 21 game mark. I just let the team keep rolling. 7th in the entire league, 38, 25, and 3. Our offense is pretty good while our defense is smartened up. All right then, like I actually couldn't tell you what happened. The team just started playing good. And I think the biggest difference was this team actually just started scoring goals. I think that's literally the only thing that happened. Seth Jarvis has 20 goals right now. Hoglander 25. Brady Tkachuk 26. That was the biggest difference. Also, when it comes to goaltending, I actually don't know who the number 1 is. They've been split in starts the entire year, but when it comes to their save percentage and goals against, those are basically identical. So I don't think it really matters who we rock with in the postseason. Both of these are solid options. So I think in the history of me doing rebuilds, this has never happened to me. I ran out of time. I went the entire trade deadline and could not get a single move done. I have never sat here for so long that the time limit ran out. So I guess we're not making any moves and we're going to rock the team we have right now. So when the season finished out here, we were an okay team, 8th in the entire league, 45, 31, and 6. I can't really complain too much. The offense, it did its thing, while the defense, not too bad. But this Colorado Avalanche team, averaging over 4 goals per game, they have an incredible record right here, 58, 20, and 4. I'm concerned about taking them on the postseason because eventually we're going to have to. So y'all got to hear me out here. I can't complain with the production from this team. We have amazing depth scoring from top to bottom. Can't complain about that whatsoever. However, we don't really have a true number 1 go-to guy. Brady Tkachuk 67 points, not bad. Roger McQueen 73, McKenna 71. Like, we had a ton of great depth scoring here, but we don't really have a true number 1 guy we can rely on. Over the offseason, that's the goal. I'm going to trade for one of the best players in the entire league. I don't care what it takes. I don't care what we have to give up. We're going to make a move. That's actually probably a lie because we do have some good prospects coming into the system next season. Meanwhile, when it comes to goaltenders, I don't care who we run in the postseason. Levi, 25 wins. McMillan, he had 20. 4 shutouts to 3 shutouts. The save percentage and goals against, they're virtually the same. But whichever one of y'all is in between the pipes for us, you better lock in. We have the Nashville Predators in the first round. I want to reach the second round. We have been a good team for far too long to not reach the second round. So far, neither team has played any type of defense in this game whatsoever. It's currently tied 7-7. We have a 2-1 series lead. I want to finish this game off. I want to give us the 3-1 series lead, and then I want us to advance to the second round. Once we have a 3-1 series lead, all y'all have to do is perform. Also, we're rocking the home jerseys once again. We're not doing any of that away jersey nonsense. So there's one thing that our team's really good at, and I'm really good at, and that's scoring backhanded goals. It doesn't matter if it's the short side or the far side, we're going to score a backhanded goal. And after the years of disappointment, it's finally happened. The new Mexico Outlaws are going to be advancing to the second round. And in the second round, we already know who we're going to be taking on. It's going to be the Colorado Avalanche. Now, if we somehow find a way to get past the Colorado Avalanche, we're going to be hoisting a Stanley Cup this season. There's no doubt about it. I don't believe there's any team right now that can even compete with Colorado. But if we can somehow complete the upset here, then the rest of the playoffs should be a breeze. So this Colorado Avalanche team, they just find a way to keep on scoring goals. On top of having a 3-2 series lead, they also have a 4-1 lead in Game 6 here. If we lose this one, we're eliminated from the playoffs. So this is the game I'm jumping in. And on top of that, for the first time in this video, we're the home team. We're repping our home jerseys when we should be repping them. Also, what is that tape job by Brant Clark there? You know what? I'm not going to worry about it. We're winning this game. So we're going to be scoring a goal here. I'm going to spoil it right now. But how does Hoglander avoid that check right there? That doesn't make any sense to me. He's going to go bar down here. He's making this a 2-goal game. But how did he avoid that check? It doesn't make sense to me. So Colorado is eventually going to get themselves a power play in the third period due to a CPU penalty. And this Colorado power play is just way too good and it's unstoppable. Later in the period, we're not going to discuss what happened because Nathan MacKinnon just did unspeakable things to our defenseman. Bro needed a map. Okay, I want to know who picked up the penalty here. Was it the diving block I went for, or was it the guy trailing? Because, I mean, when it came to the diving block, I actually thought I played that pretty clean. But was it the guy trailing that picked up the penalty there? I just want to know. Bro, that's a weak tripping penalty, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, to be fair, we're not gonna be making the comeback in this game. 4 goals in 5 minutes. Let's just start playing incredibly risky. Yeah, so we're not going to talk about what happened in this game right here. And we're not going to talk about this last goal that was scored. Colorado might be up 7-2. Yeah, we're just going to ignore this. Colorado's winning the Stanley Cup. I refuse to believe there's any team beating them. Okay, how did the Dallas Stars beat that Colorado team in 7 games? That makes no sense to me. Colorado was just a different breed of good. I've never seen a team that good. So I think we have to face the fact that offensively we're not good enough. I think we're making a decision when it comes to goaltending. McMillan's going to be the guy from here on out. He's an 85 overall, 25 years old. We're going to hope that he can develop and be the guy for us. That means we're going to be trading Devin Levi away, but maybe not yet because we technically still have McMillan under contract for 2 more years, like 2.5 million. So we can keep both goaltenders around. Okay, I just want to show who's on this team right now. You have Nathan McKinnon, Artemi Panarin, Cale Makar, Mikko Rantanen, Brock Besser, Kirby Dach, and you know who else is here? Rupe Hintz. Yeah, Rupe Hintz might be 35 years old at this point, but look how many studs they have on this team. It's ridiculous. How they afforded all of these guys, I have no clue. Because you're still paying Rupe Hintz $6.2 million at 35. It just doesn't make sense. So after that disappointing second round exit, things are getting more disappointing. We're not even going to be securing an elite potential player in the draft. Now, I'm not going to lie. I knew Guerin was going to be asking for an extension here, but I thought he was going to be looking for $11 million. I can definitely do 8 years at 6.8. Since we can't get a deal with the St. Louis Blues done, we've moved over to the Edmonton Oilers, and I'm going to try to acquire Rubrock. We're going to start with a first rounder, Seth Jarvis, in a second. I don't think that's going to be enough. Of course it's not. I guess we're going to have to give up one of our good prospects. And it looks like Jacobson's the good prospect we're going to be giving up here. He has medium elite potential, 77 overall at 22 years old, but we have to realize what we're going to be acquiring from the Edmonton Oilers. If we can get a deal done for one of these top players, because it's impossible, we're throwing Seth Jarvis in this deal as well. This should be more than enough to get one player. There we go. We finally got the guy we need. But we're not done there. We got to make a few more improvements. In regards to Hoglander, it looks like age is finally starting to catch up to him because he's dropped to an 84 overall at 31 years old. He's going to continue to decline, so we better make a move quick. And I think Wheel could be the guy for us. 23 years old. He's an 87 overall. Let's try to bring him onto the team. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I don't even know why I offered that package up because I knew for a fact it wasn't going to get accepted. But you know what? We got some good prospects here, and I think we can get a deal done. Now, this move is going to be strictly done to clear up cap space. That defenseman I attempted to re-sign, we don't have money for him anymore, so we're picking up Caswell from the Pittsburgh Penguins in order to clear up 2.5 mil. So we do have to make one more deal before we get into next season. That's going to have us picking up Lysell from the Minnesota Wild. We need a playmaker for the bottom 6, but unfortunately in this deal we're going to have to give up Kiliev. He's been a great piece to this team, but unfortunately the time has come to trade him away. So we're making some high risk, high reward moves here. Fitzpatrick, I'm going to put you on the first line here. You're an 82 overall sniper. You have medium elite potential. You're going to develop into something. The rest of the forward core here looks absolutely incredible. The bottom 6, that's great as well. We might have a couple guys who are centers playing right wing, but you know what? We're not going to worry about that. Defensively, we actually improved our team through that Minnesota Wild deal as our third pairing is now better. Meanwhile, when it comes to goaltending, we're going to be rocking both of these guys once again this season. 285 overalls. We need one of them to step up and become a superstar goaltender though. And if it's going to be any of these guys, it's got to be McMillan. So there's no more excuses with the team. For the first time in franchise history, they're first in the entire league. 58, 17, and 7. We had a great offense. The defense was incredible. 2.54. Win. All you have to do is win. Now, the scoring wasn't necessarily a lot better than last season, but we had guys performing. Roger McQueen, 86 points. Brady Tkachuk, 80. Rubrock, he's picking up 74. And look at the goal scoring numbers here. We actually can rely on players. Also, Fitzpatrick, 48 points in your rookie year. You're up to an 84 overall. I can't wait to see what you become. And when it comes to goaltending numbers, we got to give Devin Levi the start here. 28 wins, 4 shots, a 924 and a 228. He's the guy for us. He's the certified man. He proved that this season. But I have a feeling the CPU is going to start McMillan, but I'm not going to allow that. Devin Levi's got to be the guy for us. Now it's time to start the new Mexico Outlaws dynasty. We're first in the entire league. We've been an incredible team for the past how many years, but we haven't been able to perform in the postseason. That changes now. Also, we're taking on the Dallas Stars. Thought I mentioned that. So game number 3 is a crucial one. The game's tied 3-3. The series is tied 1-1. We got to take the lead in the series, and that's why I'm stepping in. And you know what? We're getting incredibly risky. We're rocking the away jerseys. And it looks like we're finally going to see a bit of success in the away jerseys. And it's going to be coming from Fitzpatrick, the rookie. He's going to be picking up the OT winner and the biggest goal of his career. Well, so far, I mean, he's in his rookie year. This can't be happening. We cannot lose in the first round once again. We're going into game 7 here. I am so sick and tired of this team underperforming. We were borderline a 60-win team, and we're on pace to lose in the first round here. That can't happen. We're going to simulate the first period. We have a 2-1 lead. In the second, we're going to be holding on to that 1-goal lead. We're going to simulate the rest of the game here. We're going to hold on. This was way closer than it should have been, but we're walking away with a 3-2 win. So now that we've got through the first round, it's time for revenge. The Colorado Avalanche. Last season, they were the best team in the entire league, but things are different this time around. We're the best team, and it's time to shut these boys down. So I have some good news and I have some bad news. We're winning game 1 of the series, but now we're in game 6 and we're down 3-2 in this series. This is a must win for us. It's a 1-goal game. We're on the power play. I'm stepping into this one. I'm going to even this series up, and then we just need to pray that the CPU can perform when we need it to. A nice poke check in the offensive zone is going to be poking the puck away from Valimaki. A shot's going to be thrown towards the net, but Brady Tkachuk's going to be right there for the rebound, and he's going to tie this game up. And with that late goal from Brady Tkachuk, it looks like we're going to be heading into overtime. Or I thought we would be heading into overtime, but Roger McQueen, he's going to be coming up clutch here. 3.7 seconds left in the game, and we're actually taking this one home. So here we go. Game 7 for all the marbles. This will send us to the conference finals. All I need is New Mexico to show up for 60 minutes. I'm simulating the entire game. We're not going period by period. What a surprise. We're going to lose. 3 unanswered in the third period. 3 goals in 6 minutes. What is wrong with this team? I don't even know what to do anymore. New Mexico, the best they've ever done is the second round. We are one of the best teams in the entire league, season in and season out, but for some reason we just can't get it together. I don't know why that is. So this was clearly the issue. Devin Levi with a 340 goals against. From here on out, McMillan's our guy. We're trading Devin Levi. We're either picking up a great defenseman or another forward piece. I don't know which it's going to be, but we're improving the team here, because something's got to change. Okay, so we're getting a bunch of assets we're going to throw into trades. The first one's going to be a low elite potential 2-way defender. The next is going to be another low elite potential player, but this one's going to be a sniper. And to top it all off, we're also going to be securing a medium elite potential goaltender. So we already know Fitzpatrick's going to be one of the key pieces for this team in the future. So we're doing an 8-year deal here at $5.2 million. He's playing first line minutes. He's going to develop into an incredible player for us. We got to keep him around. Now this defenseman, I'm not giving $7 million. You're an 83 overall. We'll get a replacement that's an 83 overall, and we'll pay him like $3 million. Another guy I want to make sure we bring back is Caswell. 3 years at 3.1. He does a great job on the fourth line, so we better keep him around. Meanwhile, with the rest of the pieces here, I think we're going to be letting them walk, or they're going to be traded. So we clearly have to make some massive adjustments to the team, and I think the first addition is going to be Pog. From here on out, I'm calling him Darcy Poggers. So we're picking up Poggers from the Arizona Coyotes. On top of picking up Poggers, we're also going to be picking up Cowden from the Florida Panthers. Well, of course, after we add a 7th rounder into the deal, because the lucrative 7th rounder always makes the difference here. Still haven't figured out how 7th round picks are this valuable though. I don't understand how that's always the difference maker. Also, I forgot to mention, I just gave both of these guys extensions. Cowden, I believe it's 5 years at 2.8 million or 2.7, and then Poggers 5 years at 3.2. So we have to continue to improve the bottom 6 here, and I feel like Gerard would be a nice piece. He's an 85 overall, 2-way forward. That's exactly what we need. He also picked up 33 goals last season. I'm doing whatever it takes to add this man to our team. I mean, that's a lot. I don't want to give up more than a 2nd and 3rd round pick, but that should be enough for him. So we're going to do one final move before we get into next season, and we're going to be picking up a left defenseman for 2 prospects. As the top 6 on the New Mexico Outlaws continue to get better, we had to make some adjustments in order for the bottom 6 to keep up with that pace. Defensively, we're still a very strong team as Brant Clark continues to lead the way. While in between the pipes, it's been solidified that Devin Levi is going to be the guy from here on out. He's an 87 overall, but we did hold on to McMillan as he'll be the backup at an 86. Unfortunately though, we're not going to be finding out how well this team does today because we just wrapped up the next 5 seasons, and now we're going to have to wait for episode 3 to see if this dynasty can turn it around.